During our last trip to Spain, we spent a day in the ancient city of Córdoba. We knew when we walked across the Roman bridge that we were in for a special experience. The bridge was originally built in the early 1st century BC, but it's been restored and reconstructed a few times since then. We just arrived in Córdoba, this ancient city, and we're going to discover all the history and all that it has to offer. 1,000 years ago, Córdoba was the largest city in the world, with a population of almost 1 million people. It was the capital of the Caliphate of Córdoba, which for several hundred years controlled much of the Iberian peninsula. It was also Europe's leading city for science and culture under the rule of Emir Abd-ar-Rahman. The historic Old Town is a World Heritage Site, full of little streets to be explored, courtyards full of flowers, inviting squares, and lively taverns, and tourists visited from all over the world. Córdoba is famous around the world for its great mosque, an astounding complex that dates back to the 900s. When you enter the mosque, you're greeted with what looks like a forest of columns and horseshoe arches with their two-tone brick and stone patterns. There are 850 columns in all, and they are stunning. One of the reasons we enjoy visiting cities in southern Spain so much is because we're fascinated by the Moorish history. Originally from North Africa, specifically Morocco, the Moors were medieval Muslims who once ruled over the areas that are currently Spain and Portugal for about 8 centuries, from 711 to 1492. Córdoba was the most modern city in Europe due to the well-paved sidewalks and streets that were illuminated by street lamps. Spain was also the only country in Europe that had public libraries, thanks to the Moors. The mosque became a church in 1236 when Córdoba was captured by the Spaniards. After that, a number of chapels were built, culminating with the cathedral nave in the 1500s. After leaving the mosque, we took some time to explore this charming city on our own. It was lots of fun wandering in the shady streets, discovering beautiful balconies, beautiful doors, quaint little hidden plazas, and more. We also explored the historic Jewish quarter. See, the Jews were expelled from Spain in the late 15th century, but during the Caliphate, Córdoba's Jewish population absolutely thrived. In the 21st century, it's a posh part of the city. Then it was time for lunch. Although there were lots of cafes and restaurants to choose from, we were drawn to this little spot that served the most delicious empanadas, and they were really affordable. After lunch, it was time to do a little bit of shopping and a lot more exploring. We were there on May 1st, so we got the chance to attend the May Crosses Festival, when huge crosses are decorated with flowers, plants, and pots to welcome the coming of spring. People were celebrating all over town and having a real good time. Before we knew it, it was time to head back across the Roman bridge. We found out for sure that one day is not nearly enough to experience all that Córdoba has to offer, so we look forward to returning to this beautiful city in southern Spain.
Thanks for visiting our YouTube channel. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button and subscribe, and tell your friends about our channel. It's great content for travel and all things related to travel. So check it out. Thanks for sharing it if you do, and please keep visiting.